Hi, thanks for using my court coach. I'm Tate and I'll be your instructor as we talk about the request for orders regarding noncompliance with disclosure requirements, which is form FL-316. Now, you won't just file this form by itself. You're always going to attach this form to a request for order form FL-300. You will use this form in the following situation. Now, in every divorce case, both parties, the petitioner and the respondent, have an obligation by law to disclose to the other party their finances, their income, their expenses, their assets, their liabilities. Both parties have an obligation to do that. Now, if the other party has not done that, has not shared with you their financial information, his or her financial information, you can use this form to ask the judge to do something about it. Okay, so let's go over this. In paragraph 1, you're going to indicate whether you are the petitioner or the respondent. If you're the petitioner, you will check this box. If you're the respondent, you will check this box. And in this paragraph, you're saying that, let's say you're the petitioner in our scenario. I, the petitioner, I have complied with the mandatory disclosure requirements, and I request an order that. Okay. This says that you must attach a copy of the form FL-141. The reason for this is that the judge doesn't want you coming to court complaining that the other side hasn't disclosed their finances when you haven't done so either. So the judge wants you to attach a form which shows that you have done what the other side hasn't done, that you have actually disclosed your finances to the other side. Okay. In order to show that you have done that, you have to attach your completed FL-141 to this form, the FL-316. Okay. Once you've done that, you're saying that I am now asking the judge to do one of these 7 things. Most of them are you're asking the judge to make an order against the other party. So again, let's say that you're the petitioner, you will have checked this box, and you're asking an order that the respondent, the other side, in A, it would be provide a preliminary declaration of disclosure under Family Code 2104 as directed by court order. Or you can ask the judge to order that the respondent provide you with, a final declaration of disclosure. Now, the reason for this is that each party has to fully disclose their finances throughout the entire case, at the beginning of the case until the end of the case. And so each party is supposed to be serving on the other side a preliminary declaration of disclosure and a final declaration of disclosure. The preliminary one is one that you give to the other side at the beginning of the divorce case, and the final declaration of disclosure is one that you provide at the end of the case or near the end of the case. So if the other side hasn't provided you with the preliminary declaration, then you'd be checking this box. If the other side, the respondent in our situation, hasn't given you the final declaration of disclosure, then you would check this box. That's for A. Now going on to B, you can also request an order that the judge, that the other side, the respondent, provide a further response to his or her preliminary or final declaration of disclosure. So let's say the other side, the respondent, did provide you with a declaration of disclosure, but it was incomplete or it was inaccurate. Then you can ask the judge to order that the other side supplement or provide further response to either the preliminary or the final declaration of disclosure. Or you can ask in C, you can ask for an order that the other party is prevented from presenting evidence on the issues that should have been covered in the declaration of disclosure. You would check this box if there's some information that you don't want the other side to present. So if the other side, the respondent in our hypothetical, if the respondent didn't disclose full finances and you don't want the respondent to be able to come back later and at the last minute share the finances with you because you think maybe that will be harmful to your case. You would rather the respondent not be able to present that evidence at all. Then you would check this box saying, Judge, the respondent didn't give me this information earlier, and the person should not be able to give it to me or present it to you because it's too late. Then you would check this box. Now for D, this one's a little different. In these other boxes, we were saying that you're asking for an order regarding the respondent, the other party. For D, you're asking an order for yourself. So what you'll do is, if you're the petitioner, you would check this box. And if you're asking for an order regarding D, you're going to check this box right here, an order that you be granted for good cause your own request for voluntary waiver of receipt of the preliminary or final declaration of disclosure. What this is about is a judge does not want to allow a case to be completed, to go to judgment and be finalized until both parties have served both the preliminary and the final declaration of disclosure. But let's say you don't care about getting the disclosure. Let's say you just want the divorce done. Then you would check this box saying, Judge, I don't care that the respondent has not given me the declaration of disclosure, either the preliminary or the final one. I don't care. I don't want it. I don't need it. I just want this case done. Then you would check this box saying, Judge, please allow this case to proceed. I am voluntarily waiving my right to get the disclosure, and I just want to not get it, and I want to go forward. Then you would check this box. E says you're asking for an order that the respondent, for the reasons below, be ordered to pay money sanctions for failure to comply with the declaration requirements. The amount of the money sanctions should be in an amount sufficient to deter him or her from repeating the conduct or comparable conduct, including reasonable attorney fees, costs incurred, or both, unless the court finds that the non-complying party, the respondent, in our hypothetical, acted with substantial justification or that circumstances make the imposition of the sanction unjust. So here, what this is about is you're saying, hey, Judge, the other side in our situation, the respondent hasn't given me the declaration of disclosure, and I'm asking you, Your Honor, you judge, to sanction him or her, make him pay or her pay a sanction, a fine, and also pay my attorney fees. The reason for this is to try to convince the party to actually finally disclose the finances. F says that it is a request for an order that that the judge grant an order, a request to set aside the judgment. So this is another one where you would be putting yourself in this box right here. If you are the petitioner, you would check petitioner right here as well for this one. What this is about is if your divorce case is done and finalized and there's already a judgment, and then later on you find out that the other side lied in the declaration of disclosure, and you want to say, well, let's go back, that I don't like the judgment then. I wouldn't have agreed to this judgment if I had known about the information that was lied about. So for instance, let's say the person had $1 million and didn't disclose that, didn't tell you about it. And then you found out and you want to say, well, I want to go back and I want some of that money. Then you would check this box saying you're asking that the judgment be set aside and you want to go back and deal with that new issue that you just discovered. This box G is where these ones don't cover it, and there's something else you want the judge to order, there's something else you want the judge to do, then you will write in this box right here what it is you want the judge to do. Now this paragraph 2 says facts in support of relief requested are, this is where you write down why you want what you're asking for. What happened? And you're just supporting your request, explaining why you need the order that you're asking for. You can either write it in this box here, or if you need more space, you can attach an MC031 form to this form, and that form is a declaration form which gives you more room to write. When you're done, you are declaring that what you've written is true under penalty of perjury. You will date it. You will type or print your name right here legibly, and then you will sign. And that is how you fill out the request for orders regarding noncompliance with disclosure requirements.